Hello, my name is Thomas Ngarajola. I'm the head instructor for Shaolin Self-Defense Centers. The name of the art that we teach is Shaolin Kempo Karate. I'd like you to welcome you to our white belt video. This is the first in a series of 11 videos designed to take you step by step through the fundamentals of Shaolin Kempo Karate. At Shaolin Self-Defense Centers, we use the art of Shaolin Kempo Karate as the foundation to explore everything. And the initial foundation is the stances, so let's get started with that information. When you're in front position, your right hand is a tight fist, your left hand comes over. Peace over violence, the yin and yang. Your hands open, hoping and praying that you don't have to use your art. And then the hands open up, trying to see the good, neat situation. That salutation right there, seen from the side, is used in many of our forms. Another salutation also used to begin workouts and also forms is right foot out at elbows. Come from the bow, get back up straight, come to a horse stance, drive your hands up in an X with an exhalation, and come back. When you're in a horse stance, your feet are 50-50, both feet facing forward. Head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips, hips right over the center of balance. You should feel that position. So once again, right foot out at elbows. A position in between the horse stance and front position is something called the pine tree stance. When you're in a pine tree stance, your feet, the edges, are right up about shoulder. This is a very upright position we use during punch-in techniques such as Kempos and combinations. Once again, head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips, hips over the center of balance, knees bent, feet flat. Another position right from here is called the flamingo stance. This would be a right flamingo stance. This would be a left flamingo stance. We use this in a lot of times in defensive postures and also in the beginning of setting up kicks. You should work on holding of your balance right there. Another position from here is a half moon stance. This would be considered a right half moon stance. So my right foot's forward and is a 45-degree angle. If your left foot was forward, it's a left half moon stance. Head above the shoulders, shoulders above the hips, body nice and centered. A lot of times our basic fighting stance is a cross between the horse stance and the forward half moon stance, somewhere in the middle. You'll find your own posture. A cat stance is from a pine tree stance. This would be a right cat stance. This would be a left cat stance. 10% of your weight, 15% of your weight, 20, most of it is back here. If you can notice, the ball of my foot is right there and right there. And another position we have is a ground fighting position. From a slap out, this would be a right guarded snake position on the floor. Don't have your feet out, they can get stepped on. Don't have your knee up too high, access to your groin right from here. And then the other side, right here. You could be all the way down or up. You're doing all your basic kicks. Practice all your basic kicking and blocking techniques in this tape and following tapes with these basic stances in mind. But remember, the stances are merely positions we move through when trying to accomplish one goal to the next goal. The stance isn't as important as the position you're in. So you'll be moving through the stance. The flamingo, you'll be moving through it. The cat stance, you'll be moving through those stances. Remember, all these tapes are designed to add to what you're learning from your instructor, not to replace. Good luck, and hope you enjoy the rest of the white belt video. Now I want to show to you the basic blocking and striking techniques as taught in the white belt section of our system. I'd like to introduce Instructor Raymond Cooney from our Bayport School. Thank you, Raymond, for coming out today. Okay, Ray takes a fighting position. Doesn't matter what stance he takes, we're going to work on our basic blocks. Some instructors call them by numbers, some call them by names. It doesn't really make a difference. He throws a punch. This is called number 1 block. An incoming attack blocked with a circle. Some instructors call it an out block. Either way. If he throws the other hand, number 2 block or another out block. So number 1, number 2, Notice my hands come right back. A lot of systems teach leaving it out. That's good when you first learn it, but as soon as you learn it, then come right back. He throws. Okay. The next one is number 3, or a cross block. This is coming in, you get your arm to the outside of it, and you come across. Again, same hand, come across. A cross hand here, or number 4 block. Again. Again. You can even play around when you train with your partner. You're sitting, you don't know what hand he's going to throw. And you just go. Now right there, I went into a 7 and 8 block. We'll get into that in a minute. Ray was coming in a different distance, and I thought it'd be better to come in that way. When you're doing your blocks, that is perfectly fine to do. Let's get into number 5 and 6. I jumped the gun a little bit. You'll notice a lot of times I'll get into more advanced things. Number 5 block. Notice my elbow is not way out here to the side, but it's close to my temple. Number 5 block, or a high block. Number 6, or a high block. 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. Once again, you can do that thing with the reaction. Always good to work with reaction. Number 7, he throws a kicking technique at me, and I block. Again, same thing, and I block. Notice here, it's my fist position. Again. And number 8, he comes in, and I block. Again, and I block. Notice, Ray will probably tell you that's a strike. So, let's do it from the other side so everybody can see from both sides. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do it one more time and I'll call them by the different names. Circle block or an out block. Circle block or an out block. Cross block or an in block. Cross block or an in block. High block, down block, or a low block. Also, when Ray throws that same kick, I can block that way. Nobody says I have to be on an even spot. Okay? Later on, we'll be doing an awareness drill with some training equipment called blockers. That'll come later on in a minute. The basic hand strikes from white belt. From something called one pinion later on is a front 2 knuckle punch. Close the fist, put the thumb right in, keep a very tight fist. Your fist is firm, yet relaxed, and impact. That is when you tighten up your fist. A front 2 knuckle punch can be thrown to any different area, but the size of a United States quarter, right about and over here. Not the whole fist, right in here, quarter. So this will be a front 2 knuckle punch from here, or from this side. Very good to the solar plex area or to the nose to cause some pain. His hands will go up, you can run. You could also do it down to the pubic bone. That strike can work in any area. A front 2 knuckle punch is very long. Watch how far the shoulder moves. And once again, the punch is not done with the shoulder, it's done with your power of your body. Generated by the legs, amplified by the midsection, directed and controlled through the shoulder, coming out through the arm. It's like a whip. Once again, control is very good to work on. I am not really striking Raymond. If I was striking Raymond, he'd be falling back. The good thing I work is this. The next strike is a side elbow strike. Very good for close range. Move your arm down a little bit. Right in from here. Might be getting grabbed, doing a fight, and side elbow. From here, you can be doing a side elbow right to his side. You can do it alone with one hand or push with the other. Sometimes when you push with the other, almost like front position, some people call it a monkey's elbow. I know that sounds kind of funny, but just a name. Side elbow. Don't hit with your whole tricep. Get the elbow in there. It doesn't matter where you are. The next strike is a back 2 knuckle. From here, it can be done to the midsection or anywhere up. Exact opposite of the front 2 knuckle, the back 2 knuckle, same striking area, coming right in. Be in a good balanced stance. Remember the stances we went over before? The half moon stances? Raymond is in one half moon stance, I'm in a different one right now. Doesn't make a difference, either way. From here, the back 2 knuckle. You'll be doing it from all different positions. It doesn't really make a difference. This again is an in-close range movement, a back 2 knuckle. Once again, delivered with the body. Another strike is called the hammer fist. In fact, many times in our system, strikes can be blocks, blocks can be strikes. The number 7 and 8 block, throw a kick. That many times can be used as a strike also, and it's very close to the hammer fist we're going to be going over right now. The hammer fist is this area of the fist, once again with the size of a quarter, striking down to the groin, solar plexus. If his head is down, striking in the head region. So from here, once again, not just my arm swinging, my entire body weight. You might be familiar with other hand strikes. Maybe you studied before or you've seen some things. That's fine. We have many hand strikes in our system. These are the ones we'd like you to focus on at white belt. The next strike is the knee kick. From here, bring your knee up into your opponent. Groin, maybe inside of the knee. You can be projecting outwards or projecting upwards. Once again, not just your knee, your whole body weight. Maybe you grab your opponent, you hit him, and you fly in your knee. I'm in a left half moon stance, and there's my knee strike. The next maneuver is called a snap kick. From here, the top part of my foot, toes flexed down. That's why they call it the snap. Some people call it the instep kick. Please be very careful. Maybe aim towards your opponent's inside leg more, even though it would be going to the groin. Raymond, trust me. You could also aim at his belt knot, right here. Excuse me, belt tip, excuse me, right in there. In class, you'll be having pads. This is a right snap kick, or you could be doing a left snap kick. You could be bent over. You could be going in the face region. Once again, control is of importance. In the martial arts, if Raymond's going to attack me, I got to be able to control him, to defend myself against him. Before I can control him, I got to learn to control myself. It's very important. Very important. The next strike is the front ball kick. Projecting the snap kick, the power goes up. The ball kick, the power goes in. Notice the point of impact. I'm using the ball of my foot. My toes are flexed back. It's like a little hammer going right in. Left foot, left front ball kick. You could be going to groin. You could be down. You could be doing anything. It's a very powerful kick. This will be moving your opponent away from you. The next kick is a side kick. Probably the most, I hear lots of stories. We have several Shaolin schools throughout the area, and also in my school we probably have at any given time maybe 2,000 students training. So every once in a while you hear stories. The side kick seems to come up in more of the stories than any other strike. Perhaps it's a very good technique, it's very powerful, and you get to move your body away. So from here the side kick comes up and out, up and out, using the bottom side of your foot. Later on you'll be getting something called a blade kick. That will come later. From here, you just turn. Make sure your foot turns. This heel points to your target. From the other side view for you, from here, you'll be going down to the knee. Any target will be fine. From here, you could be adding spins, but that will come later. Thank you, Raymond. All of the strikes that you have, you can also do with the half mooning, kicking forward, kicking back, punching, kicking. That's something for you to work on. Your instructor will be doing it countless repetitions. Please focus in search of perfection. You will not get to perfection, because perfection is more of a direction, not a state. Practice hard, and we'll continue in a moment. Now I'd like to introduce you to the Kempo Techniques for the white belt rank. Raymond, come on out. Okay, the first one, he'll be throwing his punch. I'm going to do a cross block, or that in block, number 3, turning my body to a side horse stance, doing the hammer fist to the groin, coming back up, back to knuckle. From another angle, punch with the same hand. Block, that could be that strike we talked about before, shifting in, hammering to the groin, coming up. Again, punch with the left hand now. Block, come in, strike to the groin, and back up. When you hit him in the groin, as his head comes down, you'll be coming up using your body energy. So he punches with his right hand. Notice my other hand is on guard. Right now, we're not worrying so much about the fight, that this hand's coming or anything else, because we're doing a lot of other things. He could be throwing that punch. I could be blocking and being on the outside. He could be throwing a high kicking mechanism. I could be blocking and coming in. He could be doing a spinning move on me. And I block, and I hit, and I hit. Lots of different variations for the low-high Kempo. The next Kempo is the heavy hammer. My opponent comes in towards me, I block. Remember, each one of these moves are designed to teach you body mechanics. I come in, I hit up to the upper region. Watch my left foot as my right hand comes in. I elbow to the midsection, and I let it hammer. Notice the first Kempo worked low, came high. This next Kempo, called heavy hammer, works high, comes down low. He comes in, I block. When I block hard, it causes a little pain. Also, I want some weight of his inertia coming in onto his foot. His face is going to run into my fist. Shimmy in, elbow, hammer. From the other side, come in with your left hand, please. Block, punch, hooah! Slide in, hooah! This is not elbow and then hammer. Elbow, hammer, one move. Again, he strikes in, punch, elbow, hammer, right in. You can also work it where you don't know what hand he's going to be throwing, and away you go. Thank you, Raymond. Each rank, you'll be learning Kempos. Each rank, you'll be learning combinations. People also many times ask me, what's the difference? Kempos are ideas from forms and combinations from different Shaolin Kempo Karate masters over a period of time. They're very important to work. However, you can slide in your personal variations. Many times during belt evaluations, I ask students to put their own ending on it or change or alter the move slightly. The Kempos, there is a little variation possibilities in there that we want to encourage you. By the end of your training, you should be able to almost develop your own. Thank you. The combinations as required in the white belt section of our system. Number 6 and number 7. Raymond Cooney? Okay, combination 6. As my opponent comes in, I'm going to use my longest, strongest tool, keeping him away from me, hitting his largest part of his body. There are 108 combinations. They're taught in different orders for various reasons. We'll get into that at a later date. But combination 6, get to him before he gets to you. If you have to block, then you block. You get to him very quickly. Again, combination 6, I get it in there. Notice, Raymond, pick up your hand a little bit. Notice, it's the bottom of my foot, the ball kick. The snap kick would be there, the ball kick is in there. So my opponent comes in at me, cross and cover. Notice, I keep looking around as I'm moving. Very important. As he comes in with his left hand, kick, cross cover. Do not take a cat stance. It's too limiting behind you. And don't be standing still when you look. It's restricting. From here when he comes in, survey the whole area. That is combination 6. Let's do combination 7. My opponent comes in, I slip out of the way, and I deliver a side kick to the side of his body, and I look around. Again, he comes in, I bring my foot up, I'm out of the way, I come up in here, and I deliver a side kick, and I cross, and I cover. From here, in, you can come in low to the ankle, to the knee, ribs. If his head happens to be up, I could be up to the back. Going lefty, from here, off to the side, kick, cross, and cover. Looking around, remember we talked about that before. So from here, at regular speed, when you're doing combination 7, when you fire, make sure that bottom heel is pointing right in the direction where you want to go. And right down the firing line from your shoulder to your knee to your hip. And you're around. Thank you, Raymond. So combinations 6 and 7 are basic but very important. They will build upon all the other combinations. Practice them well. I'd like to show to you number one pinyin, our first form. At first glance, it looks relatively basic. However, it's very important, the way your body moves, that you get the foundation down now. Remember we said before about control? Before we can control our opponent in a fight, we got to be able to control ourselves. We want our blocks and our body motion going forward to be very controlled. This is number one pinyin. I'll be doing it facing you, then I'll do it facing away, then I'll have Raymond come out and I'll demonstrate a little application. Front position, bow, horse stance, hands roll out. This is called dragon's breath by many martial artists. Shift in, hand comes to position, block into a half moon stance. Punch, right front two knuckle, get back on guard. Turn, block, left front two knuckle. Notice each move is building upon the last. Left half moon stance, right half moon stance, guard. Watch my hands how they yin-yang here. They work together. As my weight lands, my right hand comes back, boom, my punch comes out, then I get back on guard. Punch, guard. Many people rush when they do this. Go slow. Punch, guard. Right half moon, guard. Take your time, don't rush. Guard. Guard again. Notice I'm coming to that guard position. I'm not leaning anyway, I'm nice and centered. Turn, punch, and punch. Right foot returns back. I do it facing the other direction. I'm going to go through it at a consistent pace without much talking. I want to see you get a general idea of how my hands move. Raymond, come on out. When you're doing your blocks, it's very important. Go back here, Raymond. That when I'm doing my moves, my whole body blocks. I don't want most of my weight over here and blocking away. I want my whole waist to turn. Many times your instructor will be pointing out concepts to you, how your belt moves. From here he comes in, boom, and then just deliver your punch straight in. When you're delivering your punch, your weight comes in, don't land and then punch, don't punch and then land. It's a whipping effect as we discussed earlier. Everything builds, boom. So from here, you're turning, he kicks, nice and simple. Thank you, Raymond. There are other possibilities in one pinyin. You can be doing some more advanced, very lethal strikes, also a takedown or two. Your instructor will be showing you many different applications at different ranks. He'll also be showing you slightly possible different variations. This is the basic formula. Remember, your instructor is the one who's working with you. He knows best what your personal strengths and weaknesses are. Follow his instructions very closely. He's the one who's working with you. He's the one who has the experience in knowing what's best for you. Over time, eventually, we hope to be able to teach that to you so you can become your own best instructor. Defense maneuvers for grabs. Also, main instructor will be referring to them as Jiu Jitsu techniques. Let's have Raymond come out so we can get started. There's many possibilities on grabs. There's probably thousands. We're going to focus on the white belt is wrist grabs. That's pretty much anywhere from the hand up to the wrist, up to, but not including the elbow. Each belt rank will be showing you different things. Your instructor might be showing you a very sophisticated grab to get out of at first, because that might have come up in a conversation in class. If he does it, practice the technique. The idea of this white belt tape is to give it step by step. Okay? defense maneuver from a wrist grab. My opponent grabs my wrist from here. Is he going to be pulling me or pushing me? I doubt pushing is going to be in the realm of possibility, so he's going to be pulling. I'm going to move towards him. Some sort of kick. There I get a side kick to the inside. Could have been a ball, it could have been anything. A stun kick. Cover his hand, come up, turn, go into a arm bar. When I go into the arm bar, my left hand is pressing down, my right hand is pressing up. When Raymond feels a little tension, he'll tap the floor. Again, he grabs, he pulls me. Stun kick, come in, watch it when I kick. My weight comes back, and I press down. There are endings that you can come up with on your own from there. He grabs from the left, stun kick, come in, and press down. There are multiple possibilities here. Another possibility, he can be grabbing. I can be doing a stun kick, coming up, and doing some sort of arm bar. From there, following into a knee strike, and into a hand strike. There's many possibilities. Your instructor will be pointing out those possibilities to you. From here, so this one is fine. From here, when you kick, shoot your hand up, press down, that is fine too. Another possibility, and I'll be showing many possibilities. He grabs my arm, he's pulling it. I hit his face, turning him sideways. I come in, and I bring him over my leg for a takedown. Let's watch that from the other side. The slap outs and rolls that Raymond's doing will be going over in a minute. He grabs me, maybe I get a stun quick in, maybe I get that in, maybe I get neither of them in. He pulls me, get his head to the side, turning. Notice how his leg is caught up and over there. He'll go this way. I can also turn his back if I want. I can be doing lots of type of takedowns. These are more advanced maneuvers that will come later. I'll be putting pressure, he'll tap. Another simple wrist grab is your opponent grabs both of them. Remember, your instructor will be showing you these movements possibly, or variations of these movements. Practice them. These are the foundation. In fact, if I have the opportunity, as I do some of the belt testing for lower ranks, I would like to see variations of this move, because your opponent might be standing a little bit differently. Your personal creativity. Remember, the system should be your servant, not your master. My opponent pulls me in, I try to fight, it's not going to work. He pulls me, I come in, deliver that knee. See how everything we showed you in the beginning of the tape? It's coming into play. Watch my right leg as it comes back. My weight comes to my right side. I hit his two bones together. My left hand stays here, it's a temporary press. Here's my tiger hand, I hit. I can follow up with any kick I want. From the other side, my opponent grabs. Doesn't matter which way I do it. I'm doing this side so you get a better view over here now. Oh, even though it's the same side as before. And come back. This bone of his hitting right here. Hold on tight, Raymond. Boom. I can come in with a knee, come over with a kick. It doesn't matter. I like to keep the white belt tape a little on the easier side, so he grabs in, hit, palm, and a quick kick. Thank you, Raymond. Practice these techniques, practice variations with your partner. Control is the utmost importance. You cannot hurt your partner. When you bow to your partner like this, you are saying, I will not hurt your body, you will not hurt my body. We have respect for each other's bodies. It's very important. Thank you. Basic sparring techniques. There's many different possibilities. You might have had previous experience, as I said before. You might be showing different ideas, maybe seen something on TV. The sparring techniques given to you at white belt through this tape are very elementary. A basic concept called high-low. The instructor will be showing you many variations. Practice them, maybe come up with some of your own. Practice them slowly. Control is of the utmost importance. As you get more into sparring, as soon as you feel comfortable with it, you'll be getting the martial arts training gear. Head protection, a mouthpiece, hand protection, forearm, rib protection, groin protection, possibly an elbow and knee pad, and a foot pad, and a shin pad. Some people say, I don't want to wear all that padding. I'm not going to have it in the street. If you're wearing all the padding, we allow you to get closer and more assertive with your opponent, and nobody will be getting hurt. Also, if you're wearing all the proper gear, your opponent will be coming at you quicker, a little bit more assertive, and that will help you handle incoming energy at you. Very important. Follow the guidelines given to you by your instructor. Raymond, come on out. Now, to make sure that nobody gets too excited and starts hurting each other, we're going to be demonstrating the sparring techniques with no gear on, just so that everybody gets the idea of what we're doing. When you're moving around with your partner, if your left foot is forward, keep your left hand forward. If your right foot's forward, keep your right hand forward. Keep the distance between you and your opponent, constantly moving in and out and left to right. Also, whenever possible, shift sides very quickly on him. It'll keep him guessing. Keep your hands moving. You may block a shot by accident. Keep your head moving. Standing target is easier to hit. So just keep moving. It's good to work with your partner. Just a little stalking drill here. Just moving around with your partner, in, out, and we're just moving around. Getting the feeling. Don't even worry about striking yet. The high, low, all different variations. Just moving around. It's good for your heart. It's good to build up an awareness. You want him to move this way, move that way. You got to practice that moving around drill. The first technique with the high-low. You strike high. Whether this is a fake or an actual strike, depends on the situation. He doesn't block it. He gets hit here, then he gets hit lower. If he does block it, now my hand and his hand is in front of his eyes, and I have possibilities of him not being able to see my strike. So from here, he blocks, and I sink it in low. When I'm doing that maneuver, it'll look like this. Come in, and I'm back out very quickly, moving up the left foot, in and out. When you start talking about sparring, your instructor will give you concepts from the 5 animals: tiger, leopard, dragon, snake, and crane. You'll get all 5 animals eventually. Take it slow. You might feel confident with one over another, but practice all. So from here, strike high, strike low. A simple one which works quite well in tournaments and also in street self-defense is striking high. When you do this, watch my left foot. Don't watch my hand. I shift it up. Now, if he's there, he's going to have a very tough time blocking that shot. So from here, I come into him, we're moving, he blocks this, and I'm out. From here, he throws a shot at me. I block, boom. What combination? Number 7. So from here, he comes at me, we're moving, I block, there's my high, there's my low. In sparring, keep your kicking techniques in the legal target areas that will be shown to you by instructor. Later on, at many advanced levels, you'll be allowed to do very light touching shots towards the legs. In the beginning, we kind of shy away from it because we don't want you to hurt each other. Nobody came here to get hurt. Focus and control are the key words. So from here, he strikes at me, boom, and I'm in. And I look around from here, and it's good to work back and forth. I'll come at Raymond, he'll do a move like that at me. And then he'll come at me, and I'll do it to him. Nobody's getting hurt. Thank you, Raymond. I probably could have shown you 15 different techniques. I'd like you to get them during instructor in the environment of your classroom, perhaps working out another student. You might come up with an idea on your own. That's what's important. It's the experience of doing each move as it happens. That's very important. You'll have set techniques, practice them, and that will develop into your own techniques. Practice, but practice safely. Mushin, which is the no-mind concept. A lot of people get confused as what's the difference between sparring techniques and the no-mind concept. The no-mind concept is just a little bit more one-step-ish. I don't know if that is a correct term. Simpler, more rudimentary, doing things a little bit slower. I'd like to have Raymond come on out. When you're doing the no-mind drills, when we were sparring before, you were moving around, kind of just working on general reaction. From here, we can do something very simple. I'm standing still, my opponent throws some sort of strike, and I block and I get back and guard. Remember in the beginning of the tape, when I went into another block, I went into the more advanced drill right away. So I'm just kind of standing here, he throws a punch, and I block. Throws a punch or a kick, and I block. Whatever he's doing, I block, I block, I block, I block. And you can move around a little bit. Notice it's not really sparring, because sparring would I'd be kicking back at him, and he'd be doing it together. The no-mind drill gives me the chance to focus just on blocking, gives him the chance just to focus on his striking. And you can play around with that. You'll be getting more advanced concepts at each belt rank on no-mind concepts. We'll be dragging you through the whole concept, step by step. We're not going to be jumping and leaping and going into any advanced stuff right away. So keep it simple, just like that. Raymond, grab the blockers first. Another technique, just going to grab these for 1 second here. Another technique that we use a lot of is these basic blocker drills. You can be using anything. I like these at first because you could be at home, somebody who's not trained, because if Raymond throws a punch at me and I block hard, there could be a little pain involved. Here there's no pain involved. And if I make a mistake and I don't block and I get hit, it didn't really hurt. Okay? That's why we like to use these at first. I'm going to swing these at Raymond. The reason why I'm doing it is a lot of people go too fast at white belt, or they'll go too slow. I like to demonstrate, from my perspective, what I think the best techniques are. So from here, do some high swings, do low swings, do some poking ones. From this way, Raymond, do a couple of 1, 2, 3s. Come in low and high. Play around with it. Help your partner develop his blocking skills. And a good way to do it is to have no talking and do like 25 swings. He can really get caught up in the motion of what we're doing. From here, let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Thank you, Raymond. If you notice, Raymond started going into a trapping mechanism there. That's a little bit more advanced later on. The shot came in on him and he started to trap it. You'll be getting a lot of trapping mechanisms that will come later. Practice safely. Some basic kicking techniques from the ground, some roll techniques to the ground, and some slapper techniques. Let's start out with the kicking techniques, as we already have our mat out. Remember what I said before. You're down on the mat, and from this position here, the ground fighting position, that is the right side kick. Practice different heights. Low, high. Higher, lower, off to the side. When you switch, come over to the other side. Kicking, 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 kicking. You're doing ball kicks straight out. Snap kicks. Going into possible round motions for those who know that one. All different possibilities. When you switch from one side to the other, please use a front or a side. They have distance. Raymond, come in for a second. When doing your techniques from the floor, if you're coming in here, you can be hitting here. If he's about on top of you, you can be hitting all the way up. You can be hitting in here or in here. Or if he's coming on top of you, he's on top, hitting in this way. See how the snap kick works? All different possibilities. You could also be practicing some of your elbow techniques from in here, some of your hammer strikes, some of your back two knuckle, punching to the knees. There's many possibilities. We'd like you to work on the basic kicking and punching techniques from the floor, because in the more advanced ranks, we're going to be teaching you how to fight from the floor with grappling and submission skills and fighting skills from the floor. And like this, like the basic ground floor work. Hitting here, hitting here, hitting here, kicking here, and kicking there. Your instructor will be giving you many concepts from the floor. More than this. These are just basic ways to get you going. The back slap out is very important. Raymond is going to be pushing me. You could be doing these on concrete, and trust me, at some point in your training, when your instructor feels you're ready, he will take you onto those surfaces. Do it with his guidance, not before. When you get pushed, if I fall back from this, it's 5-6 to the floor. If I bend my knees, it's less. If I keep bending my knees and falling back, my rear end hits, I slap. Notice my hands are this way, not like this, and not like this, but this way. Not too far up, not too close, right here. Try not to fall back like this. It's very dangerous. You'll definitely injure your collarbones. The The number one reason in the United States of America why people visit the emergency room is from falling. So let's take our time and really go over this. This will be like a continuous insurance policy so that you'll never get hurt. He pushes. I exhale. And I got my slap. Notice my chin is tucked here, not ricocheting off the floor. And I exhaled. And I turn to the side. And I do my side kick. You could also be fighting from here and actually be in a more advantageous position with your kicking, punching, and grappling skills. That will come in later. Notice again when he pushes me on the back slap out technique. And I turn to the side. When I do that exhale, I could be summoning help. I could be trying to scare off my attacker. I could be trying to psych myself up. I could be letting the shock that's coming up through my back be transmitted out. But very importantly, put your hands right now on your midsection, and when you yell, ha! You can feel your midsection tighten up. It protects all your internal organs from shock. It's a very defensive thing. It's very important. So from here, and then you have your kicking techniques. A front slap out. You could be doing from standing up. I like to teach it to you at first from 1 or 2 knees. It's safer. When you get pushed from the back, maybe it's part of a sweeping. There you go. Notice I stopped talking and got ready for my slap out. There will be a training drill coming up in the next video, the yellow belt video, where you'll be doing a very interesting drill with slap outs while you're blindfolded or with your eyes closed. But right now, keep your eyes open. My opponent pushes. Notice this time my head is turned away. It doesn't make a difference as long as it's not forward. Turn here or turn there. Arms right about here, not too far, right here. You need to turn to ground fighting position. Always going back to that elementary position. A side slap out. You can be from here, from here, from here. A lot of times that goes to monkey position when you're down low. I just get pushed from the side. It's basically like a back slap out, just done on the side. When your gluteus maximus hits the floor, you slap, working the displacement factor to your advantage. He pushes, and then again I'm on guard. All simple techniques, but very important. So you can see from this position, he pushes, boom. I keep using a side kick because it's a very simple technique to work on. Let's add the wall slap outs to that routine I was just talking about. Raymond? Everything that we learned on the floor is transferable up to the wall. My opponent pushes me, I slap, my chin stays here, my hands go here, and my foot can come up if you want. Either foot can come up. So I get pushed, displacing my energy. My head does not hit, I exhale, and my hands are here. Either foot, either way. From the other side, my opponent pushes me. Now Raymond would be pushing me straight on, but we want you to be able to see. Let's do one push and then move out of the way. He pushes me hard, and I slap out very well. A front slap out, he pushes me. Notice I turn my head and my hands there. My foot came out if I want. He pushes me again. And there I am. A really loud ki will be very important. One more time. He pushes. And the side slap out. You kind of, we're fighting here. He shoves it against the wall. I don't want my head to ricochet, so I leave my hand here and a slap, and my foot can come up if I want, displacing my energy against the wall. We're fighting here. He throws me. Right in there. From the other side, we're fighting in here. We're here like this. I bring my knee up to hit him. He throws me off balance, and I slap. Notice I'm doing it different, a little bit each time. But the basic rules of displacement and energy are important. Everything from the floor, thank you, Raymond. Everything from the floor is transferable to the wall. Another position, you get pushed, maybe you don't fall to your knees, and you go into a roll. When you're doing your roll technique, sometimes it pays to go into a slap out, sometimes it doesn't. Your instructor will help you in class with this. When you get pushed, go with it, go down, get your hands out in front of you, don't roll on your head. Go on your right shoulder for right now, and I got up on guard looking at Raymond, and we're on guard with each other. Next time I'm going to get up and roll and look that way. He pushes me, and I'm looking this way now. It doesn't matter which way you do it. Your instructor will be training you both ways. But very slowly, when you do a forward shoulder roll, get down in a position like this for those who aren't familiar with the roll. Raymond, just stand right here for a second, please. I want to be able to look at Raymond from underneath there. How you doing, Raymond? Take my right arm as if I'm going to handshake with him. I just look towards him and I roll very slowly. It doesn't matter if you're going the right side or left. You should practice both. So from here, Raymond's going to go down on one of his sides from his push, and he's going to roll. And he gets up looking at me. It's very important. In fact, a good drill that'll be coming later, you'll be throwing each other down in all different directions. And we call it the takedown drill. That will come later. Another position, my partner throws me down. I do my slap out. I'm doing a kicking mechanism. A technique called a backwards roll. Very simply, all I'm going to do, maybe I kicked him and he backed up and he's out of the position. And I just roll and I get on guard. See how I'm semi-crouched? And I went over my shoulder, not on my head. Very closely. Watch it from the back. I'm here. I do not roll over straight. Too much chance for injury. I go over one side or the other. It does not make a difference what side. Stay crouched, then look around. That should look like the combination 6 and 7 cross and cover. So that's the backward roll. Don't attempt to do this. We'll do this very slow. He pushes me and I go right into that right away. You can do that. I prefer you to work on your slap out first. Be safe. Another technique is called the log roll. Perhaps Raymond's right over here. I'm in my position. My opponent goes to stomp on me for something. That's a half a log roll. From here, getting out of the way completely. So the log roll, very simply, don't do it like with your hands here. Keep your arms up here. Just turn and turn. That's the log roll. You can work the kicking techniques with it. All these rolls of slap outs you can put together in routine. Now that we're done with the rolls and slap outs, I'd like to discuss two very important things that get overlooked many times at white belt. People are in a rush to go into the advanced kicking and punching and throwdown techniques, basic stretching and basic breathing. I recommend the book called Stretching by Bob Anderson. It's a generic stretching book. It's got stretches for all different activities such as hiking, handball, and martial arts is included. It's a very good book. You should definitely pick it up and do the breathing and the stretching together. When you're doing the breathing, you can be kneeling like this or sitting or standing. But please do not be slumped over like this. Try to keep your spine basically straight. Head above your shoulders, shoulders above your hips. Not tense, just straight. What I'd like you to do is breathe in through your nose. When you do that, your abdominal area comes out a little bit. Hold it briefly. And then when you exhale, your abdominal area comes in and you exhale through the mouth. Nice and relaxed. Breathe in. Practice this. Try to build up to 5 minutes a day. You'll find yourself very, very, how should we say, calm and less tense. Also, you'll find when you're doing your sparring that comes later on, when you are a more patient martial artist, it'll be easy. The techniques will come to you easier. Learning will be easier. Your daily life will seem a lot calmer to you. So when you're doing your breathing, breathe in and out, as I just talked about. If you feel a little lightheaded when you're doing it, build up to it. But 5 minutes a day is good before you get into meditation techniques later on. When you're doing your stretching, follow that breathing pattern. When you don't bounce, Mr. Anderson talks about that in his book, don't bounce, just hang there and make sure, very important, you're doing that deep breathing. Many people have a tense look and a tense feeling in their body. The body affects the mind affects the body. So you have to work this together. When you're stretching, take those deep breaths in here. The deep Diaphragmatic breathing that we're talking about is exercise for your internal organs. Do all the stretches in his book outlined in the martial arts section. You might have your favorites, but the idea is to have a whole entire supple body, not for one area of your body to be less flexible, because that can cause potentials for injury. So keep your stretching and keep your breathing, and as your instructor gives you more advanced throwdown techniques, Qigong breathing, and things of that nature, the foundation that's supposed to be built upon will be started here. Later on, you can get into it, but then you have fell behind. So work slowly now and be consistent, a little bit each day. Don't try to get into 20 minutes of breathing in one day. Build into it. It'll happen. Eventually, you should be looking forward to your breathing and stretching each day. It shouldn't feel like a chore. If it feels like a chore, do a few minutes less and approach it with a much more relaxed atmosphere. This concludes our white belt instructional video. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed presenting the material to you. Work on all this material before you move ahead onto future belt ranks. Thank you, and good luck in your training.